The historic capitol was completed in 1845, but the dome was not added until 1902. And it was leaking and it was time to replace it, so it was replaced by new copper.
We knew that we had an issue with water intrusion at the actual metal veneer level and at the copper roof level, so we said that's where we've got to attack it.
The leaking problem began very shortly after the dome was added to a pre-existing Capitol building. And over the course of the 20th century, the dome had various leaking problems during different renovation phases. It was expanded in the 1920s, and at that time they actually just covered up the beautiful art glass subdome that you can see in the rotunda because of the leaking problem.
When you look back and see all the historic photos, dating back to the turn of the century in front of this building, that's awesome, to think that, multiple generations of people have entered through these doors, whether it be as a tourist or a legislator. That's a really neat concept. I had the opportunity to work on one of the most historically significant buildings in the state.
The first restoration that happened was when the new Capitol was built in the late 70s, early 1980s. The original plan was to tear down the historic Capitol. There was a public campaign to save the old Capitol, and the decision was made to restore it to its 1902 appearance. Part of the reason the 1902 period was chosen was because it did have the dome. The dome, as well as the whole building, has been really the symbol of Florida's government and an icon of Florida's political history. So the fact that the state is continuing to put money to preserve the structure and maintain it so that citizens from all over the state and really all over the world can come here and see and learn about Florida's democratic process.
Historic preservation is kind of one of those things where you don't really want people to know you did anything. You want them to look at it and go, that has been well maintained. You want them to think it's been there the exact same way and the exact same look as it was in 1902 when it was first erected.
When they see the new copper on the dome, I want them to think about the beautiful green patina that was on the old dome and all the memories that were made and the history that was made in the structure. And over time, the dome as it looks right now, it will acquire that same patina as even more history is made here. And we hope that the next 110 years will maintain this structure and continue to be a place of learning for all of Floridians.